Dude,
yeah, let's
turn
do
that fan on.
We can do wild turkey.
I'm way too fat for this.
Crack the window.
I can't get up.
Welcome to the Buckhorn Podcast. I am Martelle, and on this episode, we sit down with Dude and Tyler of the Bourbon Hunters. Check them out on Facebook and Instagram. We taste some Weller Antique 107, some Weller Special Reserve, and some Wild Turkey 101, and we introduce Tyler to Florida Man.
So, Randy, this is Tyler. I know you weren't on video last time.
Cheers.
I introduced him.
Hey.
He's the big guy with the red shirt, sweatshirt, whatever, Adidas.
I'll say I've heard him.
Yeah, he's not just a figment of your imagination and my ulterior or alter ego. All right.
So I always, whenever he puts something stupid on there, I'm always like, "Hey, this is off the record." And he's like, "Yeah."
No, I don't. I do not say
and then he
I
just
say this will be
edits
on
that
there.
part out and continues on with the conversation.
That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
He says it's off the record. Yeah, he says that, but I don't. I just
not.
Yeah, I grin fuck him and put it right in the show.
Yeah, we do a one-take edit. I don't crop anything out of the middle of the show. I don't edit anything out. If Randy says something stupid, he says something stupid.
It happens.
And I always say something stupid.
Right. Our best feedback from people actually listening and sending us stuff has been from that episode now. Like, I've honestly gotten great feedback. It's hilarious. And what I found, the only time I've ever edited the audio and the take is when we were doing the trip to the Bourbon Trail, because there were like hours of just nothing sometimes. Just us sitting there, just, Tyler, farting and burping and stuff.
You can't be too upset about that because you've only been on like 2 episodes. So
yeah, that's true.
Like Martel's been on 1, you've been on 2. It's not that bad.
I think Dingo has been on as many as Tyler.
Yeah.
It's been close.
Yeah, I was listening to the most recent one on the way out here, trying to catch up. So I feel like, dude, the more dude listens to us, I feel like the more vulgar he's getting, because now he's talking about like poking holes in condoms and all this. Like the first few episodes was all super clean. And he's like, yeah, I listen to Buckhorn podcast. Go poke a hole in your wife's condoms or whatever. Or your wife put a hole in your condom. I
was honestly worried about, what the format was going to be and if it was trying to be clean or not. And then the more and more I listened to it, as I'm editing, I'm sitting there thinking, this is just kind of boring. We have to actually talk like we really talk. Because otherwise it's just going to be...
The thing to keep in mind is you're talking about alcohol, so it should be explicit anyway.
Yeah, I feel that's safe.
Yeah,
they should be over 21 to listen to it or something like that anyway. So, or 18.
So if they don't like it, oh well.
I've put a blanket of explicit across the entire thing. Whatever happens.
Man.
I
fill up so much more of our logo than you do. I'm like trying to push my computer back.
You're sitting closer to the camera.
You're
like I'm going to mount it across the room.
That's funny.
Well, if I had a camera up there on the TV,
yeah,
I'd just turn that on.
Up by the deer skull there?
Yeah.
So if we did record this video here, which I'm going to do just in case.
Jeez.
Then what's going to happen is that they're going to see that we're on social distancing.
Put our thing back on, see if it works.
I'll try, but we're too far away, I think, for
I
it
don't
to
think
work.
so.
So the thing that he's referring to is the virtual background on Zoom. See, we're like apparitions.
You're kind of there.
Whatever.
All you got to do, one of you just get on your phone and one get on the computer. I mean, we're in the same room. We're just on 2 different devices.
He has his laptop sitting 2 feet from him. I told him to use his laptop and just use our audio.
He cares even less than we do.
Yeah.
It's like, I may show up, I may not.
Right. It's funny. Like he'll sit there and text me in the middle of the day, hey, what are you doing tonight? And so I get a little excited thinking, oh, maybe he wants to record something. And I'm like, no, nothing really. What's going on? He's like, I was just wondering. And so
we don't start doing that to people.
I was going to say, we don't ever text.
Yeah. Randy just sends me a shitload of like news articles and stuff. And then
they're usually just like stupid pictures, political memes.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. Or, hey, I found this at Kroger or whatever, Bourbon-wise or something like that. So I have to scoot closer because I can't stand my head just floating around.
I called the Giant Eagle perimeter loop.
Yeah.
Who's talking?
Did not.
And they did what? You know, the Giant Eagle that you went to that didn't have a liquor store now has a liquor store.
They have a huge one.
Yeah, that's good.
They actually have an incredible selection. I think the guy was like annoyed at me because I'm like, oh, you got this. He's like, so you gonna get any? I'm like, nah. No, see ya.
I also have a podcast I've been on once.
Yeah.
You should give it a listen.
Yeah.
That's good. That's funny. Let's
shit.
before we get too
had
far
the,
into this, let's talk about the first drink we're having so that we can get through all 3 drinks.
Man, that's the lamest part.
It is the lamest part, isn't it? I mean, it's a bourbon. It's a bourbon show. I mean, you guys do bourbon too.
We do bourbon, we do beer, we do whatever.
We'll talk for 15 minutes and forget to actually introduce the bourbon we've been drinking.
Yeah.
Have you listened to our show?
Yeah.
Our last
it's
episode,
awesome.
we went for like 45 minutes. We're like, oh wait, we've got this new bourbon to try. I was really excited about it too, and we just didn't.
We just didn't do it.
Yeah. That's we've done that. We haven't gone that far into it, but we've gone a good 10 minutes and just sat there and yapped and then realized we hadn't said anything about the bourbon we were drinking.
How funny would it be if we had all these different podcast people on, and they're just like, oh, have you seen it? I'm like, no, I've never seen your show. Never listened.
I messaged dude and Martelle.
That would be my thing. Like,
yeah, my favorite
never
thing was
seen it.
My favorite thing was when you were like, what's next? And dude goes, well, I want to do this collaboration with Buckhorn. You're like, who's Buckhorn?
Right.
That's like my favorite part of any of your guys' episodes.
So as we sat down today, he goes, now who are these guys? I'm like,
nobody.
Dude, Tyler's already a professional. He's a celebrity. Like, okay, who's coming in to talk to me?
Right. That's like, I'm the guy preparing.
That's fantastic.
This is how I feel. Like, I shouldn't say that. This is how Mo feels when he does webcasts with me, is how I feel when I'm doing podcasts with him. Because Mo comes in with notes. He'll have like notes on the athletes, and he'll know what they do on a Tuesday night with their cat, and he'll have all this information, and I'm just like, what the? And I'm sitting here just like, yeah, I'm just here to give the color commentary, man. I'll just say stupid shit.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. I love our format the way it is.
Yeah, no, I do too. I like it.
We don't plan anything.
Tyler's
anyway.
now, so let me just give you a little background first. We come down here and Tyler's like, hey, the last couple times I've come over, you've been pretty heavy on the pours. You got to go light on the pours today. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. It's only 3:00. That's fine. And so now he's asking for his 3rd glass of Wild Turkey.
But they're smaller pours, so it's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
this one's a hefty one.
They've gotten a little bigger each time, just because he keeps
wants to
asking
stop
for
pouring.
more. Right. It's laziness.
He's like, I'm sick of this. Here's a whole glass.
So we're drinking Wild Turkey 101. This is Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, and the mash bill is published for this one. It's 75% corn, 13% rye, 12% malted barley, and the MSRP. I think I got this for $19.99. I don't know what you guys just got it this week. What did you pay?
No, this was I thought it was like $30.
For your then you're getting screwed, man. You're getting screwed.
Well, I thought in Ohio it should all be the same.
Yeah.
It should be.
Pull it up.
Did I get the wrong thing?
No. I've got it in my checkbook because I put it in. It's the only thing I got.
Wait,
I went yesterday.
You have
He's got a checkbook. Yeah.
Well, it's on my phone.
Guys.
Listen. It's on my phone. You can't see because of the
What's a
virtual background.
checkbook?
It's on my phone. It's a register, whatever you want to call it.
I've got one. Yeah, I keep one of those as well. I'm old.
Yeah.
I don't because I have something called On the Line, and I can just go there and they've already done it for me.
I do that on the line too, but at the same time, I like to have a running tally because my wife likes to spend money and I don't. So I like to make sure that.
Is that a 4-digit purchase on there?
Shut up, Tyler. Stop looking at my checkbook. So,
Somebody done bought him
$21.49.
a tiger.
Yeah.
$21.49 was the price after tax.
That's probably about what I paid then.
Yeah, you probably got like.
Well, I got this with
second
a
bottle or
bottle of
something.
Weller's Antique. So
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, I don't.
Well, that's
I
like
just
$50
grabbed them both
now.
and paid. I don't even remember.
Nice.
See, I probably paid
So-
21. So
Yeah.
this is actually a lower, more cost efficient bourbon.
It is, and I think it's really good. I mean, we'll talk about that here in a second, but it's a blend of 6, 7, and 8-year-old bourbons, and you can. I mean, I know Wild Turkey. Everyone has their Wild Turkey stories from college. At least most people do.
I've never
And
had
I've
Wild
always-
Turkey.
Never ever.
Never
Have you?
ever before.
I haven't either.
Yeah.
So this is the
before
first
that.
roll.
Rare,
Yes, okay.
Rare Breed was my first Wild Turkey product.
I've never had Wild Turkey 101, but I had Wild Turkey in college, and it was just kind of like it was like Jack or Jim. You would just add it to your
Yeah.
Coke or something like
It's
that. And it was
not
it's
as
not
bad
good.
as Jack Daniels, though.
Well, they've redone. I mean, I don't know if they've redone their mash bill, but they've rebranded. Like it's not ever since Matthew McConaughey came on board. You know,
Yeah.
they've kind of redone some things, and it's actually I'm enjoying this a lot. So
'Cause the only thing I've had out of Wild Turkey is the Russell's Reserve.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did the Kentucky Spirit.
So growing up, my grandma loves Jack Daniels. She'll make Manhattans, like Jack and Coke. So I drank that here and there, but the more I've gotten into bourbon, the more I've just hated Jack Daniels.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
and I don't know why.
It's not a bourbon.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
it's
if
Tennessee
you
whiskey.
If you talk to people in the bourbon industry, they'll say it's basically a bourbon. There's really nothing. The only thing they do differently is they use the maple filter or something like that. That's the only thing different than the bourbon.
But maybe that's what I hate about it, because it's sweet. Like, it's very sweet. But I like the wheated.
Jack Daniels has a wheated?
No, I'm saying, like, I like more wheated.
Sweeter, because it's sweeter. Yeah, well, it's a little bit different. And so the one thing I will note about this is the 12% malted barley. And generally speaking, with a higher malted barley content, you're going to have a little bit of a smoother taste.
Yeah.
And I don't know what you guys think about this. And I know we've jumped ahead of ourselves, but
I've got a great brown.
I haven't even tried it yet.
We usually talk about on the nose, and then we give it a taste, and then we give
we do too, but we
out of 5 donuts. But you guys,
he's on his third glass, so I was trying to jump ahead a little bit.
It's got a good
when I said
brown
I'd
sugar
be here at
smell
3,
to it.
That's true. And speaking of donuts, I had donuts this morning. One of our gym members is they own a
very good donut shop.
Yeah, it's a donut shop. It's called Little Donut Factory. It's in Hilliard. And so I went there, dropped off some shirts that I made, and bought some donuts. And I have that on my palate today. So I was trying to
like
get
their
a little bit
donut
of this out
shop
of there.
so good? So much?
Because it's attached to a gas station?
No, not that.
Oh.
But it's like, they're like they're like normal regular donuts. They're not like
trying to go over the top
they're not like regular
Snickers
cake
on top of it.
Exactly.
And stuff.
They're just they do the basic donuts really fucking good.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Now, I will say their Long Johns are okay, and I would probably like them more if I didn't go to Der Dutchman. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Der Dutchman. Their Long Johns out in Plain City are freaking huge for one. They're like the size of Tyler's foot.
Yeah.
And then they just have the most amazing maple.
Well,
is it maple that they do?
Yeah, they do the
Der
maple.
Dutchman.
I mean, once you go Der Dutchman, you never go Butchman. Anyways,
wow.
I was wondering how you were going to come out of that one.
Well, I never know. I just start talking and things happen.
Jump in.
Let's give this one a quick rundown.
let's give it a
quick
nose.
rundown. I'm going to say on the nose, I smell some sweetness to it. There's a little bit of the brown sugar and the cinnamon smell there.
Well, on the nose, it should be fresh cream, pecan pie, warm buttered toast, and clove.
Now, see, we're on the Bourbon Hunters, and now you're cheating and looking up before we smell it.
I always look it
Listen,
up anyway,
I already
tasted it and smelled it. I'm done.
I'm terrible at nosing, so I always look it up too. Tyler always makes fun of me.
The brown sugar on the nose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the one I'm reading says toffee, caramel, spice, and vanilla. I get the vanilla. I get the brown sugar.
Well, that's probably why with the vanilla.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get that. I'm terrible at nosing. More for me, and if you've listened a couple times, I guess Tyler hasn't, but he knows. It's for me. If I like the smell, if I like the taste, that's really all it is for me. I'm getting better at this kind of stuff, but it's just not.
Well, that's where I'm at. I like this. If I like the smell and I like the taste, and it doesn't kill me because it's pure ethanol, then I'm great.
Right.
Like the corn whiskey.
Like that corn whiskey we had on a show.
I really like this. It's smooth, and that little bit of the burn, the tingle, the good burn I always talk about.
You mean balanced?
It's smooth. I don't care what all those bourbon snobs say. It's smooth. It is what it is. I'm not an elite
just
prick.
Equals smooth. It's the same damn. They just put a new word in there.
It's just a new word.
Whatever. They literally went, we're too good for the word smooth. So take that, Rob Thomas. We're going to call it balanced. I like it. It's very balanced. And that burn that I say I like, that you get when you drink a neat bourbon.
Yeah, Kentucky
doesn't hit right off the rip. It kind of slowly comes on.
No, that's nice.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
I like that.
It's not a super long hug, as they say, but it's I feel like it's a dry one. It's not like it kind of dissipates quickly.
Right.
Yeah.
To me. And so I'm pulling the tasting notes from flavor.com, and they said, so on the flavor, on the palate, it should be a powerful with nutmeg, cinnamon, milk chocolate truffle, more pecan, and creamy toffee.
There's that nutmeg you like again.
There's that nutmeg. And then the finish should be smooth with a light burn and a brilliant spice.
There's the burn on the finish I was talking about.
Yeah. I pick up the toffee.
See, I get vanilla and maple. Those are about the only two flavors I can generally pick up on the regular anyway. Most of the time, if it's those crazy baking spices, I don't pick them up. I know there's something there. I just don't know what they are.
Yeah.
Paprika.
Right. And
Chili
so
powder.
like maple and vanilla, I can pick up almost all the time. Those two I can always get. The oak I can kind of get, like that leathery taste. Sometimes a cinnamon, if it's there, I can get that, but I'm getting vanilla and maple on this one.
I always get vanilla, toffee, and caramel.
Most
everything I drink.
I was going to say, most bourbons we get between 6 and 10 years all have a lot of that similar.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's quality, if it's not complete swill, but
Corn whiskey.
yeah, that's not 6 to 10 year aged bourbon though. But we do our ratings out of donuts, 1 through 5, and we only go to halves. What do you rate it, Martell?
I'd give this an easy 3.
I
like
with you.
it. I'd pick it up.
Yeah, for the price point in the low 20s,
Yeah,
I give it a
for
solid
$20.
3, which means if you're there and it's available, grab it. You won't regret it. I like it.
Yeah.
I just put a little splash of water in mine, so I'm going to try it with that.
Oh, I didn't do that.
You
Great
took
call.
yours down.
I did. I just kind of took it down to the face.
I don't feel like I need water, and that's why
No,
I feel like that's a solid 3, maybe even a 3.5, just because of the
solid. Yeah, it's a solid 3 without the.
I would
for
definitely
$20. I mean,
Okay.
for the price too. I'd pick it up with like Makers and Jim Beam.
Yeah.
well, for the price, it's like a sore penis,
Yeah.
man. It's hard to beat.
I like it even better with water. I just got what you said.
Oh, you could drink that for days.
Yeah, you put a little water and it's even
Yeah, that's
Balancer.
even balancer. That's what I would say.
more balanced.
What's the?
What are you looking? Proof?
No, I mean it's 101.
Yeah, I was going to say it's on the bottle, man.
Well, it's literally in the name. And that's the thing too, for being this high octane, that's really, really smooth. That's why I like it. And it does, as you guys have said before, it's kind of got that thicker taste, like a syrup.
Yeah.
I feel it's got great legs. You can see it, on the glass, but it's
I did.
good for the price. I'm pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I'd put this up there with a Buffalo Trace or something like that can easily be purchased, and it's readily. Well, I mean, this is more available than Buffalo
It's
Trace.
not overly complex, but that doesn't
no,
to
that
me
doesn't
make it
right.
a bad bourbon. But
Well,
and
you know
I
what
tend
this
to like
is?
simpler stuff.
I will say this is your donuts. It's the basic thing done really well, I think.
Yeah.
It's not real fancy. It's not like they're trying to be all floral or anything crazy.
Yeah.
But it's done really well.
He
It's
just
not
brought it all
Blanton's.
back together. He brought it all back together.
I do that.
We're talking about donuts. We're rating in
I
donuts.
paint pictures with my words. How many times do I have to tell you guys?
No, that's good. I like that, though. So from our side, I mean, I would say this is definitely a shelf.
Yeah.
It's definitely not a pass, and I wouldn't say I'm going to hunt for it because I don't need to. So it's, like you said, if you're running low, you're in the store, $20, grab another bottle.
Yeah, for the price point, it's really good because that's the same price point as what we're about to try, which is one of my all-time favorites in this price range. So
Yeah.
I think
Have
it
you-
definitely would be a shelf.
Have either of you two had the Evan Williams bottle and bond yet?
Not the bottle and
No,
bond,
our
no.
last episode we did a single barrel, 8-year. But
How
not
was the
bottle
single
and
barrel?
bond.
Because I haven't had the single barrel.
Well, if you listen to our show, you'd know.
Damn it.
And don't answer. Don't
It
answer.
was, listen to the episode. It's the most recent one.
Such a douche.
So Evan Williams 1783 and Evan Williams Single Barrel are both really good, I think.
The
Yeah.
bottle and bond, I really like that. It's what, $17? 18?
The bottom and bond's right around that 18 to 20, I think. Yeah.
See, and that's
Do
the
you
shit
hit-
that makes me mad is the Heaven Hill had they had that bottle and bond for $12.
Wait.
And
I don't know if you guys can see this, but go ahead and keep talking. I'm just going to show you.
I was
I've
gonna
got
say that the bottle and bond they had was $12.
Oh, you got the big one.
And
You
then
got the big boy.
You got that gallon jug. Good Lord, I only have.
They had those at the
This
store.
was like
I'm afraid to carry that
$35.
out. My back hurts enough as it is.
See,
It's just so big compared to that's what,
That's what she said?
yeah,
Okay,
I know.
quit bragging, first off.
right?
I know you invited us here to belittle us.
I got hey, I got 2 little bottles. Does that make up for 2 for 1 deal?
Okay, that sounds like a giant bottle. I can hear you pouring that.
That is exactly how
Sounds like you got a gallon of milk over there just poured into a glass.
Glug, 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 glug.
Yeah, this what we're about to have is when this and the antique both hit. This was about $22. The antique was $25.
Yeah.
They were a hit with us. Like we were.
Me too.
I couldn't get enough at the price points.
Well, and let me go back a little bit because when I first started drinking Weller, everyone said, "Oh, you got to try Weller. Weller's really good." Hated it. Couldn't stand it.
Really?
Yeah, and that was. But then I had 2 bottles of each because that was my rule at the time. Was I always had 2 bottles?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
It was like a year ago. It was a year ago. And then I started drinking things neat right around the summertime when we went to that boxcar thing down in Columbus.
Yeah, the Maker's Mark deal.
Yeah, it had Makers. They had what else did they have? Knob Creek, Basil Hayden.
Was it Basil Hayden?
Yeah, and then there was a 4th one, and I don't remember what it was. Anyway, so whatever it was, so we went down there, and you had to drink it neat. They had no other options unless you went to the bar. But for the free samples,
was it Jim Beam?
Yeah, it was Beam.
Yeah.
And so then at that point, I was like, you know what? I'm going to just start drinking this stuff neat because I need to be able to anyway. And I really like drinking bourbon, and it took me a while. But after about a month, I started drinking things neat and doing, being able to, because at first you if you're not used to it, you had to kind of choke it down a little bit.
Right.
And then,
well, yeah.
I started drinking it neat, and I came back to this probably 4 months ago to Weller's because I had them just sitting back there, and I love them. I like them so much now. I used to not be able to like them at all, and
it just took you a while to become a man, basically.
There's part of it, yeah. The other one dropped, and
I'm 40.
I'm a man.
I'm a man.
So speaking of which, I made a shirt. A buddy of mine turned 40, and his wife. He didn't know I had a shirt company at the time, and his wife did, and she's like, "Hey, my husband's turning 40. He loves sports and he's always doing the I'm a man, I'm 40 thing." He's like, she said, can you make me a shirt that says I'm a man, I'm 40? And then for the rest of us that are going to be there, a shirt with his picture on it that says he's a man, he's 40. So I made a whole bunch of them, and there was
nice.
I made 20 shirts, including his. And so he had no idea these were being made. He didn't know that I even owned a shirt company. And so when they had his birthday party, he just got the biggest kick out of it and was wearing that and was sending me all these texts. He's like, "Oh my God, this is great." So I love that I'm a man, I'm 40. That whole rant that guy was. What was that? Oklahoma State?
Yeah,
Gundy, man, Mike Gundy.
Yeah, that was just hilarious.
I'll be 40 in June.
Oh wow!
Wow!
He's the youngest one here.
How old's Tyler?
29.
Fucking seriously.
Are you allowed to be on this podcast?
I check his ID every time
I just
he comes
started
in.
drinking last year.
No wonder he only shows up for one of every 6. He's a millennial.
His mom doesn't let him out of the house.
Can Tyler come out and play? I'm making all these jokes. I'm 36. I'm in the same generation he is.
Well, yeah.
We're not that far off.
The better side of it, though.
Yeah, debatable. We'll see.
So let's do it. Let's do a Florida man real quick. Let's jump into some Buckhorn stuff.
All right.
I'm not.
For those of you that
ready.
are Bourbon Hunters fans, this is what the Buckhorn podcast does. We plan nothing and pull up dumb articles. And as I'm filling in time here, Martel's literally trying to find an article.
Yeah, I'm trying
to read because our show is totally unscripted and unplanned. And I guess the funniest thing that I've heard said about our show, and I guess you said it, Mo said it. My favorite thing is when you guys are like, "Wait, you don't plan your shows?" And Martel goes, "No, Randy shows up and we just hit record."
We barely even talk throughout the week.
Yeah, we're not and Martel's like, "We're not even friends. We're acquaintances." And I guess that blows people's minds because I don't know, we kind of play off each other so well. We play with each other so much.
Yeah, it's just,
it's just natural. But
so I've got one here, and this one's not going to surprise you because it's out of Florida. Florida swimmer partially emasculated after taunting baby shark with his penis.
Okay. Now,
right, so what do we do here? We guess what the actual article's about.
You do whatever. No, you do whatever you want. What I was going to say is I've heard of dolphins and where you can cuddle.
Well, dolphins are
there's certain places you can't touch them, right?
Well, there are certain places that people like to have dolphins touch them, but I feel like a shark would be the wrong route to go.
It would be. And so the thing with dolphins is dolphins are like humans. They just have sex for pleasure, and they're one of the only animals that doesn't.
They're the humans of the water.
Right. Well, I don't know. I've been to the zoo enough times to see monkeys do some stuff for pleasure.
Well, now, hold on. Bonobos are more like Bill Cosby. Because they're going to hit anything and everything they can, whether they want it or not. But when we're talking moral, upstanding human beings,
Did you see Tyler? We lost Tyler for about 2 minutes there. Did you see that?
I noticed.
Yeah, that's the other thing you expect.
Freaking millennials.
No, but I was...
Hold on. So Randy, you know when he's looking up articles, you have to like buy time. As soon as he picks up his phone, I have to buy time because I know that he is spaced out for like 2 minutes, so I've got to like totally stretch it. I've got to stretch it.
Well, usually I have it up on the screen. So
yeah, we've got a really nice.
Well, you can share. You can do studio
here.
Well, I don't know how Reddit works, so I don't know where my saved items.
It's funny because he'll literally have 30 tabs open, and we'll hit record and go, okay, let's see which ones we want to hit.
Yeah, we'll just hit whatever ones.
When we say unscripted, like I'll send him articles. If the headline's funny, I don't even read it, and I send it to him, and he doesn't even read it.
I don't even know.
And that's what we riff with. We just go right off the cuff, all natural, baby.
A couple of my favorite episodes of your guys is him actually reading the stories.
Oh, I can't read for shit. I'm functionally like illiterate and
then the zombie Skittles. Those are my two. The zombie Skittles. Like you'd be in the middle of a sentence like 5 minutes later and you'd just like gag in the middle, like mid sentence because like part of it just came back out of your teeth.
Dude, it'd be stuck in my molar or something. That is one I've tried so hard because I'll do dumb stuff. And I've had people say, I respect the fact that you're willing to go out of your way to make people laugh, but Martelle won't. Like, he's just not a guy that will eat dumb stuff or be stupid. So I try to surprise him and bring dumb stuff, like the Oreos with the salsa.
Yeah.
Which even got me, but the zombie Skittles, I was not prepared for at all.
God, that just sounds disgusting.
I'm so glad I noticed the package was different.
Can you guys see that?
Yeah. I can now.
Florida swimmer partially emasculated after taunting baby shark with his penis.
Okay, first off,
I like to think that
the shark is still there.
Oh yeah, the shark's still there. It is
still attached.
I'd like to think that I understand a lot of English, but I mean, does that mean his like emasculated? I thought that just meant like belittled. Does that mean he's missing some penis? Is that what that's?
He's basically partially a eunuch.
Yeah, I think he's when he says I'm half rocking one right now. He's full on. He's just got half left.
Right.
So have you read the article? Is that what he was? Was he trying to get some pleasure out of this shark, or what?
No. I didn't read the article. Are you kidding me?
I feel like he was like, "Hey,
we never read the article.
Shark's kind of a fish. I got kind of a worm. Let's see what happens." And that's what happened.
That's it. That's the article.
Darwin happened.
I'm looking at it now, and there's nothing on Reddit.
I know for a fact that my dogs like peanut butter, but nothing. All right. Fair enough.
I wanted that to continue.
Yeah, I want to hear the rest of it.
I was going to let that one ride out.
But listen, you can't do it for a dog that's under a year old because they like to nibble too much.
Right.
That's all I was going to say.
First off, don't say you can't because you can do anything you put your mind to.
But I don't want to be partially emasculated. So let's
baby teeth. It won't be that bad. Try it and report back.
All right, we'll do another Florida man here.
We'll revisit.
We'll whiteboard that one. Table it.
There we go. So this one is Florida man upset at nurse sets fire to his hospital bed.
Well, that's smart.
I love that mustache.
Yeah, he's a classy dude.
You should have set fire to that. Can you imagine walking in and seeing your patient's face on fire?
Yeah, and what I like about these is the way that the article headline is so ambiguous, like the one with the Florida and the meth, like the gator and the meth. Like this could be that the nurse sets fire, or the man is upset at the nurse and set fire. So
right,
I like.
Well, and that's why we don't go any further, deeper into the article, because we just need the headline. That's it, and then you make up your own conclusion to what it is.
You guys have watched The Joy of Painting with Bob Ross, right?
Well, I grew up on that. My grandmother was an award-winning painter in West Virginia, so we watched that all the time.
Okay, weird flex. Mine painted some.
It wasn't trying to be a flex. Sorry.
No, I'm kidding.
I did throw award-winning in there. I did.
But I like you did. Like, I don't know if you know this, but I'm going to name drop Grandma.
So speaking of which, have you seen the movie, what is it, The Spy Who Dumped Me?
No.
It's got Kate McKinnon and it's got Mila Kunis. It's actually really funny. And Kate McKinnon's just hilarious. And Kate McKinnon's just hilarious anyway, the way she talks and does stuff. But there's a whole guy who's in the FBI or CIA or something, and every time he talks, he makes a point of letting everyone know that he went to Harvard, and it becomes a running joke in the entire movie. So that's kind of where my mind went. Dude, I used to be
so bad at name dropping. I really did.
Well, I don't even mean to do it sometimes. That's the worst
part. I don't
part.
either. It's just like, I get excited, so I want to tell folks. Anything I'm excited about, I want to share. And if it happens to involve, like I was supposed to have a poker game last night with a I'm not going to name drop, with a former Ohio State standout that got drafted to the NFL.
Yeah.
And because of coronades, we didn't have it. But it's like, I want to say that because it's kind of cool being a huge Buckeye fan.
Right. And
say,
I'm the same way.
I'm going to let a former Ohio State guy take my money.
Yeah. I'm the same way. Like when I was in college, like, and I don't ever name drop this because I think it's just bad form, but I went to college and I was really good friends with Mike Vrabel, and we would always go and do stuff together. And he's always,
with Vrabel?
Yeah.
Dude, I love Mike Vrabel.
Yeah. No, honestly, I was actually pretty good friends with him between like my sophomore and junior year. We had to retake chemistry together in the summer of in between freshman and sophomore year. And
that's the ultimate name drop. Like, yeah, I flunked a class with Mike Vrabel.
Yep. Well, I didn't flunk it with him. We retook it together.
Oh, okay.
So he was in a different class the first time. We took it together the second time, and then we used to Fickle and Finkus.
In Einhorn?
In Einhorn, no.
Yes. That's where I'm going next.
Fickle and Finkus were older than him, and we would go to BW3s on Tuesdays. They had the 20-cent wings, and we would drink off of their IDs because we actually kind of looked similar to them. And so we would drink off their IDs, yeah.
Man, you're just flexing all over me because I look like no football player ever.
Well, if this makes you feel any better, he hit on my girlfriend at the time, so...
And now they're happily married for 15 years.
No, they're not.
Do you think he would know, like...
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, because I used to work for a company in Boston, and I would go out there every third week, and one time this was probably 10 years after he had graduated and moved on, and I was sitting in the airport in Boston, and at Boston at the time, at Logan Airport, they had this... it was like this little thing. You had to take a bus out because if your flights to Boston from here were these little American airline, 3 across seaters, like 1 aisle 2. So they're little Embraer, whatever. And, I was like, you guys can't see me. This is ridiculous. I'm turning this off. And,
I was liking it. It's just like, you just see Tyler going,
like,
hey, looking at like space. Well, I guess people that only listen, don't see the video, don't get what I just did. I feel like we're just on a Zoom and not recording a podcast right now.
So we were sitting there in this, it was like this terminal that's off, remote terminal where you had to take a bus to it because we were such a small puddle jumpers. So you walked out to your airplane instead of like taking what are those little tunnel things? Anyway, so I'm sitting there and I'm reading a book and he comes over and he just sits down next to me and like this place is empty. And I have no idea who it is. This guy just sits right next to me and the place is completely empty. And I'm looking at him.
That's like I'm not walking in at him. Taking the next urinal. Like,
right. And I'm
30 urinals.
Like, what the
Don't
fuck,
come next to me.
Yeah, I'm like, there's a whole bunch of empty spaces here. What the fuck are you doing? So I just kind of look over and he's got this big fucking Cheshire grin on his face. And I'm like, hey man, what's going on? And so he's like, just talking to me for probably 20 minutes, 30 minutes leading up to us boarding the plane. And then I used to fly all the time at that point. So I had status and I would always pick like the single row. So it was like status. 1A, right? Flexing all over the place.
Why don't you tell us how many followers you have on Instagram? Make us feel even worse.
So I'm not going to do that to you guys. No. So, I would
put all your listeners go check for yourselves.
Yeah, but right.
So I would always sit in the row by myself just because it was almost kind of like being first class. That's what it felt like anyway. And I never flew because out of Columbus there aren't many flights that are actually first class. You would just be like connecting through Chicago or something else and it would be these small planes. So that was my way of kind of acting like I was, getting first class.
Baller.
So Vrabel's sitting over there in a seat over by the window. So he's sitting next to someone and he's talking to this person and I'm like, what the hell is he doing? And he keeps looking over his shoulder at me and pointing. And I'm like, shouldn't I be doing that to him? Like what's going on here? So he goes, hey, dude, I talked this person into switching seats with you. I'm like, motherfucker. Like I wanted to sit by myself, but it ended up being like the coolest flight ever because he just sat and talked my ear off for like the hour and a half that we were in the air. It was just really cool. No. He's just such a cool guy.
Where was he at that time? So he was with the Patriots?
I'm not trying to do that as much to flex. It is kind of a flex.
No, but I'm saying the best thing you could have done was flexed on him and be like, oh, thanks, but I'd rather sit by myself.
No, I'm good. I'm good here.
Right.
No, but like
I kind of had the same
the
thing
reason I brought that up is just he's such a cool guy, down to earth. Like, he doesn't have to be like, oh, hey, dude, I know this guy. I remember him. He could have, just whatever, acted like he didn't remember me. I had hair in college. At that time, I didn't. He could have acted like he didn't recognize me, but he was cool as shit.
How you said
at
that time, like you have hair again.
No, right. Fair enough. It came back.
Right.
With a vengeance.
Yeah, I'm wearing a hat because I had full on like quarantine hair today.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I kind of had the same thing happen, dude, but it was a psychologist.
Was it your psychologist?
No.
Hey, you know how they say that you should start with like a lower proof bourbon and work your way up so that you're not getting overwhelmed as you going backwards in your taste buds?
I've literally never heard that.
Okay.
I have bad friends.
My point is we probably should have started with your flex and then gone to mine. That's all I'm saying.
Oh. So, do you want me to bring the Virgil cane over, or
kudos? Well played.
I'm just messing.
Yeah.
So
no more Virgil cane for you.
Was this what's the psychology story?
You pulled out the Virgil cane. He's like, hold on.
I want to hear the story.
It really wasn't anything exciting. I was on my way down to Texas, and I worked for Abercrombie & Fitch at the time, and she was...
Weird flex, but okay.
I know.
I only worked for a BP gas station, but...
I wasn't standing like in the front of the store like with my shirt off.
Right.
I worked in the office. She was more concerned about like what the VP's actions were and how he was just like this crazy ass, like in all the shit that he did. It's nothing, and I just wanted to throw that. I was sitting by a psychiatrist as opposed to somebody famous.
Dude, you're right.
Wow.
We should have started with Martelle's story and went to yours.
Right, because I didn't lay down in the seats and like put my head on her lap and do
this
the whole
one time,
psychiatrist thing.
I rode in a plane and was on an international TV show for a week, so take that.
What was the show?
Fat Men in the Woods.
Fat Guys in the Woods.
All right.
I got
Were you
interviewed
one of the guys
by,
in the woods or no?
We flew out to the Sonoran Desert and had to survive. And our episode, out of 2 seasons, ours was the only one that was mobile. So we hiked, they said 30 miles in 6 days through the Sonoran Desert. So
how far did you really hike?
No clue. We had no bearings. They dropped us off in the desert. We had to find our survival expert, and then we walked. Every day we moved camp, and it was
cool
pretty
or
true.
miserable?
I'd do it again, even without the cameras and the TV shit. Like, I came back, and got interviewed by like 3 different radio stations and a
basically
newspaper.
What he's saying is he ate lizards and drank his own piss for 6 days.
I didn't.
Did you know Barry Karcher from Endeavor?
No.
You know Bear Grylls?
No, I don't know either of those.
Well, because he was on that Alone show.
Oh, really?
He left
Endeavor. With the guy from Alone, but
he left Endeavor, went out to Colorado, and but out there he became like this kind of one with nature type of thing. But he's still. I mean, like, not saying that in a bad way, like, no, but like, I think he
was one with nature, but he's really just sitting on a sidewalk downtown. In Denver.
Could you blow me where the Pampers is? I don't know if anyone gets that reference. That's a movie line. PCU, Jon Favreau sitting there stoned out of his head.
Shut up.
So he was on Alone. Anyway,
if you guys
I never did watch it. Yeah, I know. It's a 1994 movie, and it was prophetic.
Tyler wasn't even born then.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It was a great movie, though. You should watch it. David Spade, Jon Favreau, Jeremy Piven, and
it's a great movie.
P-Funk. God.
P-Funk.
George Clinton's in there. Yeah.
George Clinton and the Peace.
I'm with you, Tyler. The old guys know it. I've never seen
it. What's amazing about it is it was out in 1994, and it is completely prophetic. Like, it is probably what campuses are like today. It's PCU was Port Chester University, but it was really politically correct university is what the kind of movie was about. Yeah. And it's nuts.
It's good.
Like, watching it again today, and you'll never find it. You can't find it anywhere.
Campuses today are barren.
Not today. Technically today. Yeah. Fair enough.
It is Sunday.
All right. So I digress.
Should we review the Wellers?
Well, yeah, we've been sucking on this Wellers.
Yeah, I haven't actually done much with it yet because I knew you were getting carried away.
Shit, I'm almost out.
So we got Weller Special Reserve here.
Martell and Tyler are on it today.
Oh, I'm in full quarantine.
I pull in, and for the first time in 2 years of doing this show, he's on the front porch with a Glencairn in hand, and I went, "Here we go."
Yep.
All right. Hey, he's getting in the mood.
I had to pre-party for this.
I gotcha.
You said you're in your party pants.
I am. I'm sitting here in a pair of sweats and
Look like some capris.
Some capris. Hey,
pair of joggers.
Whatever. Joggers, yeah.
Joggers.
That's the joggers are the male capris.
Yeah.
So we've got Buffalo Trace for these. These are this comes out of Buffalo Trace. This is said to be around 7 years. They don't publish their mash bills, so it's as good of a guess as any. But it is wheated, so this is a wheated bourbon. So what do you guys get on the nose?
I don't remember.
Bourbon.
Yep, I'm getting bourbon.
I get a little bit of, because everything is toffee and caramel to me. A little bit of toffee and caramel, but it's sweet. It's not like that corny, like toffee caramel smell that you would get from a corn-based bourbon. It's more of a sweeter because, well, it's wheated and wheat's.
Would you think that maybe a fruit? I'm getting like a fruit out of it, I think. I don't know. Like a
apricot?
I might have had too much.
Maybe apricot,
Tyler looks like he just don't care.
Tyler's on his fourth glass of bourbon. He doesn't care.
Maybe a little bit of banana and clove. I mean, if I had to go for like a fruitiness, but it's very faint.
I'm surprised I get vanilla.
To me, this does not. This smells stronger than the Wild Turkey 101.
I think the alcohol hits you a little harder on the nose. For sure,
the more that ethanol, we'd say it's an ethanol.
Which is funny
smell,
because it's less proof. So
right,
and it is about the same age,
same price
which is
range
interesting.
As the 101. It's $22-23 right in there,
and it's about the same age range too. So it's around 7 years,
and that's why I was so impressed with the Wild Turkey, because this is for the price. Weller's, like when folks ask me, they say, "Hey, I know you review bourbon. What should I get into? But I don't want to spend $50, $75, $100. This is where I start them."
Yeah.
So which I may point him towards the 101 now too. Now that I've had it,
I'll say Makers also. Makers is a good one.
Yeah, Makers is another one. Makers to me, it's kind of that. It's a solid go-to, but it's never been one of my favorites. Like, it's kind of like when people ask me, what pistol do you recommend? Glocks are always reliable. A million people like Glocks. I don't like them.
So get the Smith & Wesson.
They're great. Yeah, I tell people to find what fits them.
Right.
But if that's my favorite, I would pick Weller's over Maker's Mark.
Are guns that different?
I need to get a bottle of the Makers that dude and I had down at.
Did you ask if guns are different?
Yeah. I never
Please don't own any then.
No. One, I don't own a single gun. I don't poo-poo on anyone that does. I just have never found an interest in myself.
That's fair. Yeah. And I can respect that.
Yeah.
That, like, to me, when somebody's like, "Hey, you do you, as long as you're not hurting anybody else," I get that.
I actually love guns.
That's a libertarian.
I just wish that I had the money to drop, $600 on a gun.
I used to hate Glock, and then I got a Springfield. I like the Springfield. I got the XDS. It's smaller so that my wife could also use it. And then I started using the Glock again. Yeah. It's almost like Weller for me. I came back to it, and I still I start to like it now. It's a little bit more solid.
My favorite pistols I went to was the FN Hurstles. The FNs, to me, can't be beat. But it's the same with this bourbon. I would recommend the Weller's and now the Wild Turkey 101 in this price range before Maker's Mark any day. But I would also not bash Maker's Mark. If somebody else said, "I got Maker's because somebody else recommended it," I'd say, yeah, it's a good one.
We need to get the Makers that dude and I had over Arnold weekend.
I can get a vial of that out to you guys. Yeah.
Holy shit, that was fantastic.
It was good. And that's what I like about Makers is, like you said, Randy, I think it's an entry-level bourbon at their lowest level, but then their cask strength, their 46, their 101, those are all really, really good bourbons. And then when they do those. When they do their single barrels or their casks, what are they called? What's the single barrel selects or whatever they're called?
Private select?
Private selection,
yep.
Like Kroger?
So whoever it is though, they get to choose what staves get put into the finish.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of cool. And so you get a little bit of a different flavor profile. Everyone gets to be kind of their own artiste, if you will, you know?
Yeah, and I like that. Now, to be fair, I've not had anything Maker's Mark besides just the original
46.
straight Maker's basic. I haven't had any variations of it.
Well, I think that's their most, as it should be, it's their most basic. And as you go up, the cask strength, the 101, I think you can only get at their distillery.
Yep. And internationally.
That's outstanding.
Yep.
That's like one of my favorite makers out there. Then the RC6 and the private selects are really good because I'm sure you can get some bad private selects just if someone picks some bad staves to put in there. But you get to choose 10 staves and each stave has I think there's, I don't know, a handful of staves to choose from. So you might do 3 of one. I think, I think it was like 6. And you get to choose a combination of however many you do.
He's remembering double. He's 4 glasses in.
He might be right too, though. Like I don't know for sure. We actually did that tour together.
It could be either or.
Yeah.
I mean, if we don't know for sure, it could be one person picked 6, one may have picked 12.
That could be. But I think you get to choose 10 staves of any configuration of those. So you could do 2 of one, 3 of another, whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
That's only 5.
Well, I was just giving. I did a ... You couldn't hear that. You couldn't hear the ...
etc.
etc.
So what are we rating this Weller's here for the 22-ish
Well, what do you get on the?
price
We talked
range?
about the nose. Have we talked about the taste yet?
No, I don't think we have. On the note, this one, this is a sweeter one to me. With Weller's, I always get that caramel. I've always said this is one of my Werther's type bourbons.
Yeah,
it
caramel.
reminds me of that old Werther's can.
Yeah.
To me, pleasant is a good word, just because Werther's. I agree. I get that completely.
It's like pleasantly balanced.
It's pleasantly smooth.
So
pleasantly smooth.
The palate is rich and sweet with dessert notes of toffee, butterscotch, nutmeg, and toasted wood.
So
and I pick up the butterscotch.
Flavor.com talks about all the tastes. It has a spiral of what you get first and then, goes through. And one of the things that has is jasmine, and they used a picture of Princess Jasmine from Aladdin. That's just, everything else is like the actual flour or the grain, and this is Princess Jasmine.
Princess Jasmine.
But with Weller's, it smells smooth. It smells sweet to me.
Yeah,
I love it.
I've
never been a big butterscotch person. Is that similar to caramel?
Kinda.
It's a sweeter.
It's. I don't know how to describe butterscotch. It's a Werther's original.
I mean, have you ever had butterscotch, or do you just?
Have you ever had butterscotch pudding? Because that shit is fucking the tits.
I love it. I love some butterscotch pudding.
I'm actually with Tyler.
We're going to read a Florida man where Tyler gets emasculated by
guys.
some pudding.
I'm gonna. Who's got the Instagram over there?
Oh, both of us do, but I run it.
Podcast.
I was gonna say.
So to your donuts, while he's zoning out for a few minutes, to your donuts,
this is a 3 donut for me all the
3.
time.
I would say 3 as well.
I'm going to give it. I give it 3.5, closer to a 4, but 3.5. I'm always
this is cheap, and
if I'm out and about. Good. I always pick it up. Like when I see it, I pick it up because it's not easy to get here in Ohio.
I should say I should give this 3.5 because I picked up a bottle one time and took it to
because I've got this big thing.
I'm going to have to make
cheating.
I've got to make mine 3.5 because when it came down to choosing between this and Buffalo Trace and a couple others, I got the Weller's, and when I bought a bottle and took it to where my stash is being held until I moved to the new place, to a friend's house, I went, "Oh, you got some Weller's?" And he goes, "No, those are yours." So I forgot I had any, and I was like, "Oh, I need to buy a bottle of that." I'll give it a solid 3.5 for the price. Like I said, this is my introductory. If somebody hits me up and says, I've not had anything, or I only have drank Jack and Coke or Captain and Coke, but I want to slow down. I just want something to sip on, a drink.
Oh, easy. Jesus, Tyler.
This is Hey, so you guys, I need that. Look that over. And I need your individual numbers.
All right, hold on. I'm going to put it
up
on the screen.
So we're 3.5. So are we done rating this? You're going to put it on the screen?
I'm going to put it up on the screen so you can see it.
This is really interesting
audio
right now.
It is. This is good.
Right. I might edit out some of the,
No, I won't edit out any of it.
Well, yeah, ours will go up just as
it'll go just as it is.
Oh shit, I sent you the wrong one. Hold on.
Seriously.
Why the hell is
amateur hour?
So what about
there's the other one. There's the other one.
While we're waiting on that, dude, what do you rate this on your rating scale? We're 3.5.
This is a shelf for sure.
Yeah.
I'm never going to hunt for this, but our place, so in Ohio, at least our Kroger gets it almost every week.
Yeah.
And they get the regular size and the handles almost every week. Almost every week.
Same here in Lancaster. The Giant Eagle down here gets it. I don't know about Pit Stop. Pit Stop's they're hit or miss on some things. was it 2 weeks ago? I think I was in there. They had the Antique 107. They didn't have any special reserve.
Yeah.
But then the week prior to that,
they get both.
2 weeks prior to that, they had special reserve, and they had 800 bottles. I mean, they just had one whole shelf full of nothing but special reserve. So it's kind of hit or miss on what Ohio decides that they're going to want to do with how they distribute, because it just sits in a warehouse and then they distribute it when they feel the need. Because I have a feeling that they have the blue label, the foolproof, just sitting in a warehouse waiting to.
I don't think Ohio has foolproof.
Oh no, I'm sure that OHLQ has foolproof sitting in a warehouse waiting to do an auction on it.
Maybe.
They're going to do a lottery with it.
Well, they
just
might
like
do
they
a
did
lottery
the
with it, but
CYBP.
I'm just saying they don't distribute it out, I don't think yet.
Yeah. No, they're not going to distribute. They're going to do a lottery on it because it's hard to get. They're going to be assholes about it. They're not going to grab enough of it for everybody to get their hands on, just like they did with the CYBP.
You know, I sent Quinn Allen a message.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is legal, but I asked him, like, hey, you have 4 bars in which he's got some pretty good bourbon at. Like, if you want to make some money, like, Dude and I will purchase some bottles.
They're selling them.
So
it's legal right now. I know that other bars are doing the same thing. They're selling off their stock to help make money.
Yeah.
While they're...
I'll buy, I mean, because it's not like they won't get bottles from all of the, distilleries or distributors after, you know?
So with the whole quarantine thing going on right now, OHLQ has issued that bars can sell bottles of liquor, but they have to sell the whole bottle, whatever they have.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I think they have to sell it at the Ohio price, right?
I don't know. See, that's the thing I need to find out, because I know for a fact that Ale House 101 down here in Lancaster has Weller Foolproof that they were doing glasses of.
Yeah.
And only because
the bars will have it for sure.
The owner of that went down and did a barrel, so they did a barrel pick for his restaurant.
Wow.
So he's got 55 bottles of the shit.
Now, as I understand, it's never been illegal for bars to sell full bottles.
It's not. They just
also
generally don't
upcharge.
Like to. Right. That's why.
Yeah. No, because
they can upcharge
make
the individual
more on
pours.
The pour.
Right.
Right. So when you buy a bottle, it's going to cost you way more than.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Here in Ohio, we've talked about how much we love the lock prices, even though we hate the availability.
Well, that's how I got a bottle of Blanton's. Is I have a buddy who used to be a bartender, and he talked to his former boss, and the guy ordered an extra bottle for him. So
nice.
All right. So real quick, Tyler sent over this image of a Twinkie, a ho-ho, a brownie.
Cosmic brownie. Sorry.
Oh, this goes over to your guys' side of the things. Yeah. Nice.
Zebra cake. Star Crunch or moon pie, a Hostess cupcake, a Cinnabon, and a peanut butter.
That's a nutty. Okay, I know the proper names of all 9 of these snack foods.
Can you throw it up, or is it like you throw it up?
Yeah, I can. Well, yeah,
you should be able to throw it up here. So if we do show a video,
let me hit up Instagram real quick.
It's weird though that he threw it up and I could name all of them.
Yeah, that is kind of.
And I can rank them 1 through 9. How much I like them.
That's what I'm saying. We need your top 3.
My top 3 I can give you right now, right off the rip, without even thinking.
All right,
number
go ahead.
1, hands down, all time favorite Little Debbie snack cake is number 9, the Nutty Bar.
Okay,
hands down.
Okay.
You separate the wafers; they're delicious. You eat it all together; it's delicious. No matter when you eat it, it's delicious. Number 2 is the Swiss cake roll. Same thing.
Okay.
Love it. You can peel off the chocolate. You can peel off the cake.
Yep.
I did all these in high school, and that's why I'm still fat today. Number 3 is on the list. Number 5, the zebra cake.
Yes, the zebra cake.
Those are my top 3.
Where would the Christmas tree one come in? You know they're the same, but they're different.
They're the exact same. It's kind of like, for me, Reese's Cups are my favorite.
Reese's eggs.
Same thing. It hits different, but here's the thing: if I could get the zebra cake, the trees all year round, or the eggs, all year, the Reese's eggs all year round, I don't know if they'd be as special.
Right, it's
the availability. So
we get them every Christmas too for that reason.
But there's more peanut butter.
There is. It affects
in
the
those.
taste.
Yeah,
you're right. And that peanut butter is not like,
it's not regular peanut butter.
They put a little crack in there.
It's a little sugar or something.
Exactly. So you get more crack around Easter, which is what Jesus died for and rose from the grave. So
this is what Jesus died for. Put up.
That's what. If you guys have never seen the clip, I'll have to send it to you guys. I used to watch a show called An Idiot Abroad with Carl Pilkington. Ricky Gervais basically took this guy that hates. It's like picture British Martell. Just hates people, hates idiots.
I don't
And
hate
Ricky
people.
Gervais would ship him all over the world to like different countries that spoke different languages and just drop him off in these like crap hole hotels and like rent a room and just,
I
he'd
have to
have
watch
to like
that.
survive.
That sounds awesome.
Oh, dude, it ran for 2 seasons. Then they did a special, season 3 was 1 episode or something. But they did one where he was in somewhere in Mexico, and it was around Easter time, and they were watching this reenactment of the crucifixion. And he's walking down the streets, and people are beating drums, and they got this guy playing Jesus carrying the cross and all this. And up until like 1980 something or whatever, they used real nails to reenact this. And like, yeah, there's like this whole crazy thing, but it's funny because he's looking up at this guy playing Jesus on the cross, and he admitted, he's like, I'm not a believer, but he goes, he goes, how did eggs get to be part of it anyway? He said, just think. He's like, they're going, Jesus, we're going to remember you forever. And he looks down from the cross and goes, oh, okay, how you going to do that? He goes, we're going to collar eggs and eat chocolate. You're going to what? It's like the last thing they tell Jesus when he dies, like, we're going to collar eggs. It's like,
So
And a
he brought
rabbit's
this
gonna be
up.
the
I don't know if
mascot.
you guys can all see this, but my choice
Yeah.
was 2, which was the Swiss
Swiss
cake
cake
roll.
roll. Yeah.
And then
it's a good one.
And then number 7, which was the Hostess cupcakes, basically.
Yeah.
See-
Those
So-
fresh taste like they're about 6 years old.
Oh, I know.
So
And it's
growing
so
up,
good,
like,
so
I
good.
had
And then
number
8.
7,
I had cinnamon
like-
roll as 8. I don't know what.
Cinnamon gross. First,
Yeah,
I don't
cinnamon
think I've
roll.
ever-
That
I don't think
cinnamon
I've
bun
had
is
the-
disgusting.
it's a honey bun.
I've never had the. I don't think I've ever had it from Lil Debbie.
Okay, I'm going to flex on dude here because you say number 8. If it's not iced, you're too poor. You got to have an iced cinnabon.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So I went.
It's still not the best.
Oh wait, dude, what was your 3? What was your 3?
Those were the 3: 2,
Okay.
7, and 8.
So I went
Okay.
5, 7, and 4.
What is 4? What is that?
That's
Oatmeal cream
oatmeal
pie.
pie.
Oatmeal
Oh,
cream
those are
pie.
good. Those are good.
That's my honorable mention too. I like that
8
one.
was just because I don't like Twinkies. The number 3s I'm not a big fan of.
Number
The
3 is
6s
like
and
stick to your
9s,
mouth.
yeah.
It's like
Yeah, number 3,
It's like,
you've got to chase with milk every bite.
So maybe 4 is maybe it's 2, 7, 4 for me. I didn't know what those were.
I don't get your guys'
guess.
fascination with the cupcakes.
Oh, I love that.
So I
they're
just
that
had
good.
that like
it's
I'm-
not you
I'm-
guys, it's just me, right?
I just had that on overstock at my house growing up.
what,
So
the cupcakes?
So the
cupcakes.
availability made it good.
just like I had nonstop cupcakes. It was ridiculous.
It's the creamy filling and then the icing on the top.
yeah.
Well, yeah, but here's
You
the
get all-
thing.
you get
That is
three in one.
that is a white trash version of the Swiss cake roll.
It is. I'm not disagreeing with that.
I would much rather have the Swiss cake roll. That is just.
Hey, have you had the chocolate fingers? They're
Okay,
like
first
basically.
off, calm down. What kind of podcast y'all running here? Once you go chocolate fingered, you never go back, kind of thing.
What are they called?
Just
So
because my
they're-
pants are off doesn't
What are you
mean
They were
talking
like
about?
they were like number 7, except they were like longer.
Yeah, they're basically. I know exactly what you're talking about.
King
They're-
Dons?
No,
No.
kind of. It's kind of like a Twinkie with chocolate icing on top and a cream filling.
Yes,
It's the two
And they're
I know
best guys on
exactly.
this
Whoa,
podcast.
whoa,
It is
whoa,
weird how
whoa.
much I know
My
about
head just
snack
exploded.
cakes.
My head
Hold
just
on.
exploded.
Oh, they're really good.
The 2 fattest guys on this podcast on the show are talking right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
leave
fair.
us alone.
That is fair. That is
It's
fair.
my time to shine.
is.
I'm not going to live as long as you. You can talk after I'm dead.
I'm going to throw it. So zebra cakes were amazing.
Is that your number 1?
I'm not a big
No.
vanilla cake guy. That's probably why I'm not a huge fan.
Wow.
That's why the
Now-
Swiss cake rolls and the Hostess cakes are probably my 2 favorites, and that's because I love chocolate cake. Love
You
chocolate
picked
cake.
nothing white.
I
on the
love
list.
a good Swiss cake roll. So Swiss cake roll, I'm going to go with number 1.
That's a good one.
Number 4 is my number 2.
The oatmeal cream pie.
By the
the
way,
oatmeal
this,
cream
this
pies.
I'm probably going to move that one into the top 3.
Can you screenshot this? Because this is a great. What are they called?
Picture.
You're not letting me.
Fuck. It is a great picture for our
on.
thumbnail. It's a thumbnail. It'd be a great thumbnail.
Tyler, you're so good at this.
I know.
Why is it not letting me?
dude is so good with media stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, push some buttons, hit that.
Do
hit
this thing with get that for our
Yeah.
thing.
So, but number 7 and number 9
I'll send you that picture.
become kind of a tie because number 7, I used to eat the orange version of the cupcake with
That I
a
like.
monster, a 32-ounce monster
Okay, well,
every
there we
morning.
go. How are you
Is
so
that
alive?
that's like
first
that's
off? Well,
that's
how
like
am I
such a
fat?
Kyle thing.
Like I'll eat a couple
Kyle thing
eggs
to
for
do.
breakfast, and you ate orange cupcakes and a 32-ounce Monster, and you're way more fit than I am. This is
Yeah.
like I don't get it. It makes no sense.
Metabolism, brah.
Yeah, I sold mine.
To
Metabolism.
the devil.
I
Hey,
sold mine to
real
the
quick,
devil to learn how to
'cause
play
we're
bass.
We're over an hour now, and I know I'm getting
Whatever.
there.
People can.
It's not. I'm not worried about the people. I'm worried about the person upstairs.
Oh,
So
rude.
let's go to the
What does
antique
God have to
107.
do with this?
Not that person. I'm sure he's. I'm sure she's fine with it.
Sorry.
Antique 107. Weller Antique 107.
Brandon,
We're
you
not allowed
gotta
to-
go to that third picture as we review this.
Yeah.
So, you want that one?
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Oh, that counts as a crunch.
Holy shit!
So-
you never sent me this one, Tyler.
I didn't
You
send
know
you
what?
this one.
No.
I'm gonna
I think
everybody
we shared this one on our
You know what?
page.
Everybody is just gonna agree with me on this.
5,
Number
6, and 10.
19, the Pink Panther.
Nope.
5, 6, and 10.
So I went with
5, 6,
18.
and 10.
You
First
can only
off,
get one.
if 6 is not in your order here,
Listen,
there's something wrong.
I don't know
with
where you
But
guys
you can
grew up, but
only
I was
get
getting
one.
5, 6.
Yeah, it says you
no,
only
I don't-
get one.
I don't know where you guys grew up, but I was getting
No,
5, 6, and 10.
so we'll go top 3 here. You can't just pick one. That's against.
That's what I'm saying.
All right,
the law.
top
Dude's
5,
so
6, and
old
10.
he was only offered ice cream sandwiches. That's it. A whole truck pulled up and there's 32 pictures
yes.
of the same ice
Hey,
cream sandwich.
number 12 or 13, either one of those two.
Those
has to be-
eclairs? The eclair bars?
Yeah.
So you ready? You ready for everybody to hate me?
Go for it.
26 or 27. Those would be either one of those would be my one I'd pick.
You need kicked in the balls.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's-
Rochambeau the
Give me
shit out of
that.
him.
Give me that nasty icy
one's not
thing,
bad
and then
either. One's
that
pretty good.
fake gumball marble at the bottom.
Yeah, that's fair. The fake gumball that's
that
on the
hard
17,
frozen-
18, 19.
Number 5 is like the poor man's cookies and cream ice cream.
It is.
Yeah.
That's exactly
That's
what it is.
awesome. And 6 is like a chocolate chip cookie goodness with the chocolate.
Oh, 6 is probably the best.
My
Yeah,
wife still buys number 6 at Kroger.
I still get it.
I
I
love
think you
it.
can get them
I
at
fucking
gas
love 'em.
stations.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway.
And
I
then
can't tell
14,
you
15, and 16 though. How
often
excited? Wait, how excited were you when you got 14, 15, and 16 brought home from your parents?
the best.
Like when they bring the
boxes,
the box home
of
with
like
the
6 and it's gone that night.
yes,
The Swans man.
14, 15, and
shows up,
16.
and then
Oh,
he
I
follows
hope it's
Daddy.
so good.
I hope people click on these pictures instead of just listening because we're just throwing out numbers.
Well, I don't even know how they'll get a chance to.
They're
Yeah.
going to be.
We'll put it
like,
up,
oh,
hey,
they like number
we'll put it up
6.
on the Instagram.
We'll
We'll
put
put
it up
both
on
of these
Instagram.
pictures
Oh,
up
And I
for
also love how
reference.
Tyler says we'll put it up and then looks at dude.
he knows he ain't doing shit.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
So, all right. So, hold on. So, you got to pick your top 3. So, Tyler, what's your top 3?
Top
So
3.
I went 12, 6, and 18.
Say what they are. Say what they are.
Yeah, say what they are.
The chocolate eclair, the cookie ice cream
Chocolate
sandwich.
Chocolate chip
sandwich.
cookie ice cream.
Yep,
Sandwich.
and then what is that? The
18.
Tweety Bird.
Tweety Bird.
What do you even call that? Just
like a frozen treat.
Tweety bar.
frozen.
It's not anything nutritious. It's just sugar frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
None of this is
frozen.
nutritious.
It's
Ice cream
frozen sugar water
The
with
characters,
with,
the frozen
yeah.
characters with the ice.
So
What are
really,
those?
the
gum?
characters are all interchangeable. That whole row's the same
Right.
thing.
Yeah,
There's a
it
Sonic
really
the
Hedgehog,
is.
there's a-
It really is some bullshit because it's all the same thing. What if you had a YouPorn icon down there?
Oh, your listeners.
Oh,
your
son of a
your
bitch.
poor
Screen.
listeners.
It's
There
on
we
the
go.
other screen.
Your poor listeners.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
for
Our
me,
listeners are used to this. Yours are going to be like, what are these guys doing?
I'm going to say for me is 6, which is the chocolate chip cookie ice cream sandwich. Then I'm going to say, and I'm breathing heavy. This is exciting. I'm going to bunch 14, 15, and 16 in together only because like when your parents would bring home the variety pack of those,
It's all the
of those
same.
things. Yeah.
Especially if you get the ones that
which
are
are,
like caramel
which are
filled
basically
or-
the, cheap ice cream cones with like the shell around them and the nuts and stuff. I don't know how else to describe them. And then,
Yeah, what are those called?
It's an ice cream cone.
yeah, I
It's,
don't-
it's
No, they
but
got
it was,
their own name.
but you buy them and they would be
what's
in
your
their
third?
little
What's your-
individual packaging at
what's
the
your
store.
third?
It's probably
Yeah,
10.
I just had one
10.
last
Just
night.
the generic old ice cream sandwich.
Sure,
number
sure.
10.
You know the wild card
it's a classic.
here? Before you guys go, the wild card is the rocket ship popsicle. The red,
Oh,
white,
yeah.
blue.
Pop.
See,
That
I
is
don't,
a wild
there is no
card.
rocket pop on here.
That's a bomb
I-
pop. but
I
there's
think
There's no
it's-
bomb pop on here.
popsicles I love.
Number
33 is pretty
33.
close. 33, yeah.
Yeah, the blue,
Oh,
white,
yeah,
and
it
red.
is. Yeah.
Popsicles
Yeah, that's a bomb pop.
are up there, I guess. Fudge, did any of you guys like fudgesicles?
See that.
All right.
Fudgesicles?
All right.
Yeah.
all the time.
So,
What is
All
it with
time.
you
Yeah.
and all the you hate everything white? You're just
Hey,
picking all the
question.
chocolate stuff.
Hey,
Listen,
real-
I'm a chocolate fan.
You guys, if you have
You should see my
an
wife.
ice cream cone hard ice cream, not the soft serve shit. Hard ice cream. Do you bite
Hard
or
ice
lick
cream.
it? Do you bite or lick your ice cream?
Oh,
How hard is your ice cream?
I bite the ice cream.
It's the scooped.
Like not soft serve, but regular
Yeah.
scooped ice cream. I bite it.
Hand,
Yeah, I bite it.
I'll lick it if it
Hand
starts to
dipped.
drip, but I
I mean,
bite
it depends. Is it on a cone or in a bowl?
It's
it.
it's
Well,
on a cone.
On a cone, yeah.
I'd bite that shit.
probably.
My wife
bite it.
thinks
Yeah.
I'm a serial killer because I like to just
I'll lick
literally.
around the edges to make sure it's not
Oh,
dripping
that's
down
not
onto
why
my
you're a serial
hands.
killer.
No, you're a
sure
serial
that
killer
flavors
because you
things.
put one sock on and then one shoe on.
Yeah,
And then you
that's
put your
weird.
underwear on.
That's weird as shit.
Sock, shoes.
And then you put your
Underwear.
The
after
underwear is the
shoes.
last thing that goes on.
That's how superheroes do it.
So,
I think
Randy,
so.
what is your top three?
My top three, I'm going to go with dude for number one, the chocolate chip cookie ice cream sandwich thing.
Number 6.
Number six there.
Okay.
And then for 2 and 3, I'm going 26 and 27. Give me that
Okay.
You
crappy
gotta send us
flavored
some post.
garbage.
Sugar water.
It's sugar
Sugar
water.
water.
It's kind of like cotton candy. That's just
Yeah.
air sugar. This is water
Ugh.
sugar.
Fair
That's
enough.
frozen, and then you get that flavored marble in the bottom that you try and chew into a gum form. And then
Martell,
spit
did you
it out
go
3
yet?
seconds later.
No, I haven't gone yet.
Okay, you
So,
do yours real
I'm
quick,
gonna go
and
with
we'll
number
jump to the 107.
So we'll
All right.
do number
So
6.
that's unanimous, right?
That's unanimous. I mean, my wife still
Okay.
buys those. I request them when
They're
she goes to the
amazing.
store.
Yeah, they are. They're
I
outstanding.
absolutely cannot stand, though, a number 10, which is a standard
Oh,
ice cream
really?
sandwich.
Oh,
Fair
I
enough.
love those.
Fair enough.
Only
Fair enough.
because
What about the
the
extra thick?
No,
Okay.
I don't like it because it sticks to my fingers.
What, oh,
Oh, fair,
yeah,
fair.
but you know what? It's
hate
worth it.
that.
Because you know what you get
Hate
to do
that.
at the end?
Yeah, you get to. That's so.
It's
such a fat
no,
kid thing to
you
do.
Don't,
is
you don't get
just,
to lick it. You have to scrape it with your
You
teeth.
have to scrape it with your
Yeah.
teeth.
You're
You
like,
scrape it with your teeth. Yeah, you don't lick
It's a
it.
surprise.
That's true.
It's like, you know.
It's not
like
a
getting
surprise. You know what
fingered in
you're
this
the
is the
doing.
most
jaw.
excited I've heard Tyler on any podcast ever.
He just came
He's
out
like
of his
getting up out
phone
of his
to do
seat.
this. He came out of his phone to do that.
If dude didn't tell you, I am the ultimate fat kid.
He is.
No,
Listen,
I'm
it's
sitting
not-
next to the ultimate fat kid.
Is
Before
that
the
a challenge?
coronavirus lockdown, it wasn't 4 times a week that I would get a text from him. Hey, roosters? ?
Yeah. You want to
I'm
know
not kidding.
one of the top fattest things that I've done is I went and I pre-ordered City Barbecue for dinner, but at the time it was about 15, 20 minutes away. But I was starving, so I stopped at Arby's to get mozzarella sticks in the drive-thru on my way to pick up City Barbecue.
All right, so
for
let me
dinner.
ask you this then, Tyler. If you're eating pizza, do you dip it in ranch, or if you're eating fries and dipping in ketchup and there's leftover condiment, do you use your finger to get every last bit out? and lick it off your
No.
finger?
Well, hold on. Here's a
You
better
ain't fat
question.
then.
Here's a better question. Wrapper cheese.
No, I'm not no wrapper cheese.
Is wrapper
Okay,
cheese
hold
not
on.
is wrapper
What's
cheese not the
wrapper
best?
cheese?
The cheese that is stuck to the wrapper when you open up like your Big Mac or your double
Okay, so you're not talking
cheeseburger
like
or your,
Biggie Smalls cheddar.
No.
You're talking,
no,
You're
not
talking lick
wrapper.
off the wrapper?
WRAP.
I will,
WRAP. Yeah.
I will occasionally eat wrapper cheese.
Occasionally.
Yeah.
That's one of the fattest things I ever saw
So-
was GW's been on our show, and he was eating a sandwich one time, and barbecue sauce or ketchup dripped on his shirt, and he took the bun off,
Oh, yeah.
wiped off his shirt, and
Oh.
put it back on the sandwich.
See,
and
I would
ate
have
it.
just pulled the shirt. I would have pulled the shirt
I
straight
would've
up in my
licked the
mouth.
shirt.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
he used the bun
exactly.
for a napkin, threw it back on the sandwich, and then
So
kept eating.
to Tyler's point here, my fattest moment is going to McDonald's, getting, every once in a while you'll do like the breakfast from McDonald's, get it for the whole family,
I did it this morning.
buying an extra Egg McMuffin and eating it before you get to the house so that
Dude, that's a daily thing.
Okay,
I
hold
do
on.
that. I got Dairy Queen for me and my wife last night, but I got cheese curds because I knew I wanted that on the way home. So I ate the cheese curds, and then I got home with the ice cream.
Who are y'all married to where you have to hide stuff?
That's
Because I was
just
telling my
hungry.
wife, like, yeah, I ate half my meal on
because
the way
we know
back.
that we're married to internal fat
Do you want
kids
to
as
know,
well.
back about 10 years ago when I was in banking, sitting on my butt all day, I would regularly, this is my everyday, you want to hear it? And I'm not lying. I would go to McDonald's, get 2 sausage egg McMuffins, a hash brown, and a sweet tea for breakfast. All right? I go to work. Anytime anybody brought in candy or anything, I'd eat that. For lunch, I would go to Taco Bell and get 2 cheesy bean and rice burritos, a chicken quesadilla and a Crunchwrap Supreme, and a large Baja Blast. Then, on the way home, I'd go to Sonic and get 2 of the
Sonic
Frito burrito things
Oh,
and 2
yeah.
burgers and a cherry limeade. Then, when my wife got home and made dinner, I'd act like, yeah, I'm still hungry, so I'd eat whatever she made.
So
That was a
then-
daily routine.
and then I'd have something
And
before
then
bed.
I stopped eating all that and went to the gym and lost a lot of weight, but now I'm fat again.
that's funny.
So
All right.
Brandon, what else you got? Number 2 and 3.
I'm going to finish this up. So, 14 through 16, I consider number 2 because they're all the same.
Yep.
And then it is a toss of the coin between a 19 or a 12 and 13. 19. Pink Panther.
12 and 13.
12 and 13. The eclairs
blow those away. They blow them away.
The eclairs are amazing, but just getting that stupid Pink Panther with the gumball eyes.
I hear you.
I mean, I don't know. That's nostalgic.
I've never been into the sugary stuff. I've been more into the sweet and for me, cookies and
drumsticks.
Drumsticks are great.
Drumsticks.
14 through 16 are called drumsticks. Jeez, that took me forever to think
God,
of.
why did we not remember that?
I can name every
crazy.
snack cake, but I'm not much of an ice cream guy.
No, drumsticks. You're right. That was it.
Jeez.
So, hey, real quick, Antique 107. That's what we have in our glasses right now.
Yes,
We've probably been sipping from it.
Right.
This, again, no published mash bill.
This
it is
smells
a
sweeter
weeded
to
mash.
me.
Yeah, it's very sweet.
And it's a 107 proof as opposed to the 90 proof we had before. And I personally feel like this is, I've had this before, but I personally feel like this is much better all around than the regular Weller Special Reserve. That's just
now. Here's my thing. We've had this before. We've reviewed it on our show before. I love this, but its popularity has spiked. Its availability has dropped to nearly Blanton's level around at least all the places. And I travel. Oh yeah,
we get it every week.
Okay, well, I need to go.
The price has gone up. That's the problem.
Well,
it's $55.
That was what I was going to say. You went from $25 to 50, give or take.
Yeah.
Well, we knew that was happening.
It made two jumps. It was 25, then it was like 30 something, then it was 50.
But we knew that was happening. The state of Ohio basically told Buffalo Trace that, yeah, you can raise the price. You want us to sell it for $49.99.
Which is why I still have the screw tops
for $25. So it was.
Well, they sold the screw tops until they got they were selling the screw tops for 25 or 30 or whatever it was, and then when they got the cork versions, they went up to 50.
Well, that's why it was funny.
Version?
Yeah, the one I just recently bought was corked, which surprised me.
That's the $50 version. Yep.
No shit.
Yeah,
and it's a little bit of a different shape of the bottle too. I can go grab one for you, but it's a little bit of a different bottle shape too. It's a little squatter, and it's a cork versus a screw top.
Yeah, it's a little bit different on the nose. It smells a lot like the Reserve to me, but sweeter. I get more
dark
of the
fruit burst from the glass combined with vanilla and caramel.
There you go. That's the bottle.
And
I
a
bought.
dose of seasoned.
This is skinnier than this is here.
Yeah, it's a little taller too. This one's taller than this one.
So by
this one's a
squatter,
screw top. This one's
by squatter, you meant taller.
Yeah, I meant I had it backwards. I was thinking that the new one was shorter, but the new one's taller. So
yeah, so basically they put a cork in it and charge us $25 for it.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to.
That's what it is.
It's a new bottle.
So,
the bottle's a little bit different shape, a little bit.
A little.
They just stretched it out.
It's stretched out a little bit. So what do you guys? What do you get on the nose?
Yeah, that's what we were just talking about on the nose. I think it's a little sweeter than the Reserve. I get a little more of that fruitiness.
Well, I had the fruitiness on the green one, the Weller Special Reserve, but on this one I get more of like a dark fruit. Like for me, it's like a fuller fruit taste.
Yes, and that's what on Breaking Bourbon has for their nose is a lush dark fruit.
A lush dark fruit.
Combined with vanilla and caramel.
Okay.
I get the vanilla and caramel.
I always get the vanilla and caramel. I always get that. That's almost like a given for me.
Yeah, I always get. I get it with everything. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
It's always vanilla. Even if it's not listed as a nosing thing, I still get it.
Yeah, I like this. I really do. On the nose.
This one's a little bit oilier to me. It's a little bit of a thicker, a little more viscosity to it, if you want to call it. Yeah,
creamy,
viscous,
creamy. Yeah, that's a good. It's viscous, creamy.
That's one I like. It coats your mouth.
And for when it's a good bourbon like this, I feel like that's a great thing. I've had that happen, and it's not been a good bourbon, and I've been like, ugh. But this is a good bourbon. I like this a lot.
That means it wasn't a good bourbon.
You're right. No, I agree.
This is good. I would, for our rating system out of the donuts here, I'm giving this one, I gave the Reserve a 3.5. I'm giving this a 3 because of the price jump.
Yep.
I don't like the price jump.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
When we originally reviewed it, we paid $25. We both had a couple bottles, as I recall, and we were like, yeah, 3.5, 4 off the charts. Go get it. $25, this is a steal. At
for
50,
sure.
it's solid. It's a 3 for me. It's grab it if you're looking for something you haven't tried or you don't have a bottle on your shelf.
Well,
some of the spots I go to, you're only going to get it on the day they bring it in.
It's something to keep on the shelf if you can get it.
Right.
I mean, I'll still spend the 49 or 56 or whatever it is.
Yeah, I'm not saying you shouldn't.
But this is more readily available than Blanton's is.
For sure.
It is.
No, there's no doubt.
It is, but
this is every other week at least. It's almost every week, but every other week, Weller's and Weller's Antique 107 are both available at our
But here's the
Kroger.
thing. Well, it may be, but where I go, if you don't get it the day the shipment comes in, it's gone.
You're not getting it.
There are
that's
times
what
when
I'm
the
saying,
special
like-
reserve is on the shelf.
Yeah. So it
But
just
the
depends. Like,
107, you're right. The 107 is gone that day usually, at least
yeah,
by
special
the
reserve. I mean, the place I go to in Chillicothe, you can get special reserve. They don't even have a limit on that. You can get as much as you want. It sits there. They got plenty. The
ours
Antique
is still
107,
limit 1, but then at the end of the day they'll put it up on the shelf, and it'll still say limit 1 when it's on the shelf, which doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah,
So,
but we have a
whatever.
limit one as well.
I'm giving this a 3. 3 out of 5 donuts.
Yeah, I give it a 3
I
as
think
well.
I gave 3 to the Weller Special Reserve, so I'll give this like a 2.75, and it's only because of the price. I think it tastes
We don't-
better than the Weller Reserve, than the Special Reserve. I know you
We don't do quarter
decimals.
donuts.
He's not doing our
Quit
rating
jacking
system.
up our rating
Listen,
system.
I did a quarter donut earlier today. That's how. So the wife and I, we buy a dozen or Baker's dozen. They give us 13 at Little Donut Factory, and when we do it, we take our donuts and we cut them into like segments so that we can
Okay.
have a taste of everything.
Tyler,
So we
I take
do-
it back. They're psychos.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Listen,
That's
listen.
insane.
If
So
I
if
just
you had
wanted more,
13
I would buy
donuts-
more
hold on.
donuts.
Or just
So-
eat 2 donuts. Like,
Yeah.
what's the fat guy, right? It's like, I want to taste
Okay,
every
fair
donut.
enough.
I'm
Just
going to
take
just
fair
eat every
enough.
donut.
Just take a bite of every donut.
So you asked a question earlier today. Why is
Biters are
Martell?
the
Why is
fucking
Martell
worst.
skinny and you're chubby? That's that. You asked that.
Thank you
Your
for saying
words.
chubby. I'm not chubby. I'm
Well,
fat.
you might
Did
not
he
have
call
said
you-
chubby. You might
you
not have
say
said chubby.
chubby
I
or
don't
tubby?
remember. I don't know. I don't remember the actual word. But my point is, you asked that question, and I'm saying the reason is because people like Martell and I cut our donuts in half.
No, Martell
The-
doesn't.
I don't
Come
cut
on.
my donuts.
But you don't eat 3, right?
The worst people
No,
alive.
I'll eat 3 or 4.
Shut the fuck up, Martell. You're screwing everything up
Dude,
here.
I am a fat kid at heart that
Dude,
that
that's
does
what I'm
CrossFit.
saying. Martell eats like I eat.
I'm a fat
But
kid
I-
at heart that does CrossFit.
He
I
does
can't.
CrossFit. I'm bulbous.
I can't
That's how I'm
beat
going to say
this
it.
There we go. So it's
245.
CrossFit
Like
then.
I'm
It's
stuck at
CrossFit.
245. I can't do any. I can't get below that. Even
So
now,
you weigh
like
245. What do you weigh, Tyler?
I'm a fucking fat.
235.
And what do you weigh, Randy?
Oh, like 500 pounds.
500. I used to be 275.
No joke.
I used to be
I'm
275.
pushing, honestly, I'm pushing 4.
Before the quarantine, I was around 208, 210. I don't know what I am now. I'm probably 215 now. Who knows? But I
My
fluctuate.
I feel offended.
My day drinking has gone like through the roof.
Oh, mine too. Trust me.
The first
Jesus.
week of quarantine, I'm like, hey, how you doing, buddy? He's like, yeah, I work from home. Liz is downstairs. I'm upstairs. Second week, all of a sudden, Martell's Facebook blows up.
Oh,
At
I
like
was-
noon. He's like, I'm like, dude, you had a couple? He's like, I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm good.
I just
Randy
love
got me a-
that you guys
I
are
love that
so
response. I'm
responsive now.
good.
You guys are so
Yeah,
responsive
good.
now on Facebook. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have nothing better to. I mean,
Well, you
not
see
that I
my
have anything
Facebook,
better to
dude.
do
I
over
share
there
so
anyway.
much crap.
But Randy got me a bottle of rum. It's Mount Gay bourbon barrel aged
Oh, it's
rum.
fantastic.
It is
We reviewed it.
amazing.
It's so good.
It's so good. I didn't know that it was actually rum. I thought it was bourbon.
We did a blind test on him and he rated it as a
And-
bourbon and it's a rum finished in bourbon barrels.
So Randy got me another bottle of this. I drank it, I think 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
I
you
drank
told me,
the
like, in a day,
entire
right?
bottle on a Thursday.
Gone.
That's
gone.
crazy.
Like I
want to try
blitzed.
this out. That's good. Have you? So
Oh,
speaking
it's
of
so
which,
good.
have you guys had the Basil Hayden Caribbean rum finish?
No.
Yes.
That's
I
good.
haven't.
That's good.
I am not a huge fan of Basil Hayden. I think it tastes
I'm
like
not either.
soap.
I'm not
It
either.
tastes like
but
cilantro.
But
I
the
knew you were going to say that.
but the Caribbean rum one I really like. I can drink that one.
I can't.
And so here's, for me, rum was what we drank in college. That was our drink. We would mix that rum and Coke, whatever. And
Yeah.
we would buy Paramount
did.
Rum 151. And so there
Mine
was
was
a buddy of
Miller Lite.
mine. There was a buddy of mine who every week he watched, what's the show with Mueller and Scully?
Oh,
Mulder, Scully.
damn it.
It's the alien
X-Files.
one. X-Files.
X-Files. He would watch that every Friday with his younger brother who was still at home. And every Friday night, he would have to catch up to us. So, like, I think it was on at like 9 p.m. and at 10 p.m. we'd be wanting to go to the bars because you'd want to get there early to get a spot, like, wherever.
Yeah.
And this is on Ohio State campus, but...
So you can dance down at Lido's.
Yeah, you wanted to dance. No, we didn't want to dance. We just wanted to be near the bar so that when the women came up to the bar, they were standing next to you and ordering. But anyway,
women came to me, so I didn't have that problem.
I did have that problem.
I walked in and women left. Instant sausage fest.
We had Paramount 151 and we were already pretty drunk and we were about to go to the bars because we were underage. We were freshmen. So you had to drink before you went or you had to have a fake ID. And, he's like, oh, okay. So he does 10 shots of Paramount 151 rum in like a 10-minute span.
Wow.
And so we're walking to the bar and he just collapses and we're like, oh shit. And like it all hit him at one time. It was like a 20-minute delay. He's walking, everything's fine. He's a little buzzed, but then it just hits him. So we had to carry him back to his room and we had to lay him on his, he was in a dorm room where there was bunk beds. And so we laid him on his bottom bunk with his head kind of off the side so that he wouldn't like puke and choke himself or whatever. But
right.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing. To this point, I've never seen anyone do 10 shots of 151 proof anything in like a 20-minute span. Like
that's bad. Like
I don't know what he was thinking.
I'm going to plead the fifth here.
The closest I've come was I did 23, or no, we did triple shots
of Miller Lite.
No, it was Captain Morgan's coconut rum.
And that's probably what, 80 proof?
The
Parrot Bay?
No, not Parrot Bay.
That's the coconut
Is
one.
that the coconut?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Parrot Bay is a lower proof.
But that's like 80 proof too, right? So you're like half the proof though.
Well, where Everclear cherries dropped in every single shot.
Oh,
okay,
so triple shots with Everclear cherries.
Right. You've
and
gone up a little.
Equaled close to like 23 shots.
Whew.
I want to do
back to back, just boom, boom, boom,
that's
boom, boom.
Nuts.
I had dick strong.
Well, so these 10 shots of 151 would have been probably like 20 shots, you know?
Those were drawn on.
Have you ever buried a friend that like passes out, buried them in trash?
Okay, I'm glad you said in trash.
I know. I was like, where are you going with this, Tyler?
You went full Step Brothers. Digs the whole rolls them in as he's filling it up. They're like, hey, wait, I'm still alive. I'm like, no, you're not.
No, I never buried anybody in trash.
So I went to, years back, I have some family that listens to this. Not to incriminate others. I went on a trip with some guy friends. And
hey, just so you know, we got to wrap this up a little bit. We've been on here for an hour and a half. Finish your story. Finish your story. I'm just saying.
Okay, I'll make it short. We went to a city, stayed in a hotel between Christmas and New Year's. One guy needed to go on a business trip, and we all decided, let's make it a whole week thing. After Christmas, we'll go the day after Christmas, stay till the day before New Year's. Went down to a city where they block off the road where all the bars are. So you get carded as you walk to the bars. They have barricades on the road. You get carded there, and then
just
you
name
roam.
the city.
It's Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay.
I just incriminated everybody. One of us, everybody had some. We imbibed, and on the way back, one of my friends and I were walking back. We get to an intersection. He smacks me in the chest and says, stop, even though we have the clear to walk. Says we gotta look for traffic, and he looks right when it's one-way traffic, and we should have looked left. And then he starts walking. Now, luckily, it's like 4 a.m. There's nobody there. It's between Christmas and New Year. He steps in a manhole, like that's half jacked up, and rolls his ankle. And he's as big as I am. We walk another like 3/4 mile back to this real nice hotel suite thing. Go in the room, and the next day he woke up. He had every piece. I mean, this is like a whole like separate bedrooms, whole suite. Every piece of furniture that wasn't bolted down was on top of this guy. And he didn't remember rolling his ankle or anything. So all of a sudden, we're sitting there talking the next morning. He's the last one up, like hours after everybody else, and you just see the whole pile start rustling. Oh, and you start hearing these groans from underneath. I'm talking couch cushions, mattresses, blankets, pillows,
couch,
tables. Well, he was sleeping on the pull-out couch, so he couldn't do the couch. One chair though, an armchair, was on top of the bed with him. Like,
I love
everything's on this. And you see it start rustling, and then from underneath it, you just hear. And all of a sudden he erupts out of this like a volcano. He's like, what happened to my ankle? And he pulls back the covers and his ankle's like 4 times the size of his calf. And we solved that problem by taking him down to the bar and getting him a drink at noon. So
yeah. Oh yeah. I had a similar situation.
Have been that way.
Did you guys ever go to Club Dance in Columbus?
No.
Up on Bryce
Do you
Road?
remember Club? Yeah, Bryce Road.
Wait,
Yeah.
was that the one that changed like every 6 months?
Oh
became
yeah,
a new club?
well,
It was
it
like
didn't.
hip
It
hop
was the
and then
same
country.
for like 10 years, and then all of a sudden it changed over. Well, they had
Yeah.
3 bars in one, so there was like Bourbon Street, Club
Street,
Dance,
yep.
and then there was the Red Dog Saloon or something that was outside.
Yeah.
And so there were 3 bars in one, but they
That place
changed
was
names
so
a few
sketchy.
times. Oh, it was.
That's where
but I
David
remember,
Allen Co. plays.
So there was a bank right beside that, and it had your typical 3 or 4 lane drive-throughs, but the last lane had
That
like
was a U.S. bank, yeah.
they had like a cement island. And then when you stepped off of it, you'd step up to it and it was like a foot step up, like a regular curb or maybe 6 inches or whatever that is. And then on the other side, it was like a 2 or 3 foot drop off. And I remember we were already drunk. That's how you went to bars back in the day. You would get drunk ahead of time so you wouldn't have to pay for the prices there.
Back in the day, that's
Shut the fuck up, Tyler.
still happens. It's called poor people.
Right. Well, college, poor, whatever. So I step up onto the curb. I step off of the curb thinking it's the same distance down, and I twist my ankle. And I'm drunk, so I didn't care. So I went and danced on it the whole night, went back home, woke up the next morning, got up, get out of bed, and for whatever reason I had a waterbed at the time.
Waterbeds were amazing.
That shows your age right there.
I had a
It
waterbed
does.
in my apartment when I first moved up here to Columbus.
Right. So I step off my waterbed and I put all my weight on my leg, and I had no memory of twisting my ankle, and immediately face plant into the wall. And I'm like, holy shit, what the hell? And my roommates are just laughing because I lived with 3 girls at the time, and they were just like, yeah, you
Weird
twisted your
flex,
ankle.
but okay.
No, the stories, the stories on that are great.
Another time. Unrecorded.
When you're allowed to record
Oh
longer.
yeah. It's funny when he doesn't want to record now.
But you, yeah.
See, that's
Unrecorded,
our problem.
unrecorded.
On
Who's
the
the
Tyler
editor?
Var show, Martel's like, yeah, I'm totally screwing you
Who's
over.
the
totally
editor?
recording
Who
everything.
controls it? Anyway.
But I put out everything that I record anyway, so.
That's true.
Right. I
We're
just
our
know better
show.
than to say it out loud while I'm recording. That's all.
For
Tyler
you
doesn't.
Bourbon Hunter fans, our show is completely unscripted and raw.
Yeah,
I mean,
and-
what we say goes, and no
Ours
edits,
isn't very
nothing.
scripted, and it's pretty raw. I just know
No,
better
it
than to
is.
say
It
stupid
is.
shit.
Well, yours is more pointed. Ours is one day it'll be real serious, talking about like racial issues in the country, and the other day it's like the dumbest jokes and like people getting
or the same
emasculated by
episode
sharks.
just separated by parts.
Yeah, same thing. So
And my wife listens to every show.
yeah,
So
mine used to. I don't think but my mom was listening, and
She's like, I get enough of you at home, Randy. I
I
don't need to
love
listen
that
to
your
you.
mom listens.
yeah,
Hi, Sharon.
I don't know if I don't know how much she listens anymore. I haven't heard for a while, but
Has your wife
Yeah.
listened in a while?
No.
You got to tell her to listen to last episode.
No, we are not telling her.
after the last one, he went home. It's like, yeah, we quit. We don't record anymore. Don't look. Delete the app.
We stopped the whole Bourbon Hunters thing. It's
Right.
done.
He's like, yeah, me and dude had a fight. I'm not on anymore. Don't listen.
Oh, that's funny.
Where are you going? I'm going over to just a drink. It's
So I hate to do this. I'm having a blast, guys, but I do need to. It's 4:45. I've got some trim painting to do. Honeydew list during the
Oh,
quarantine.
come on.
Oh,
I
that's
know.
horseshit.
I know. It is
It's
horseshit.
quarantine.
You're quarantined. Do it
You're
tomorrow.
you're on a cornication.
Here's the thing about tomorrow is tomorrow's Monday, and my job has taken off like crazy because we do web
yeah,
streaming.
I heard
So,
on the last episode.
Yeah, it's nuts, man.
Quit being a responsible adult.
I know.
He's
You're bringing the rest of us down.
I'm barely going to log in
still
tomorrow.
have
Oh,
a
he has
job.
a job and has to work.
Oh,
I
he's got a
don't know if
job
I'm able to work.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Lame. You know what's funny? He's going to get off here. I guarantee you that trim doesn't get painted tonight.
No, hey,
I mean, you're going to have to
He'll
kick
paint
Tyler out.
He'll paint
listen,
some trim
There's
for
going
sure.
to be some trim painted. It may not be the trim my wife wants painted, but there's going to be some trim painted.
Hey now.
Watch out, Trina.
Oh man.
So,
I don't know what we're going to do. We might record without you. We'll do a Buckhorn episode or
Nah,
something.
you
Potentially.
may as well. You guys are together.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So
we're
real quick
together.
recap.
Yeah,
what would
we
you guys do if you had to rate these three side by side? What would you do? One through three. I know
I'm
one's
going
two
to
are
put,
weeded, one's not, but
I'm going to
Go
put
ahead.
the Weller's Reserve and the Wild Turkey 101 on par with each other because for the price point,
Yeah.
they're both
Yeah.
fantastic. You
Completely
can't
agree.
beat them for the 20 to 25 range. There's not many that I like as much. The Wild Turkey is a new one on us. That was one you suggested, so thank you. Weller's has been my go-to, but either one of these, if you're getting into bourbon, Wild Turkey 101 or Weller's Reserve are good starting points. I will put those two just slightly above the Antique just because of price.
Price, yeah.
And availability.
And availability. I love the Weller's Antique. It's one of my favorites. I've got a bottle now I'm holding on to just because I don't want to pay twice
$50
of what I did for the first one, So yeah, for my ratings, I'm going to say the Weller's Reserve, even though it's a different mash bill, and the Wild Turkey 101, I'm going to put them on par with each other even. About 3.5 donuts out of 5 for our rating scale.
That's fair.
And then the Antique, I'm going to put 3 just because of price and availability.
Tyler?
I'm going to echo that.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Go ahead.
because.
Yeah,
I mean-
I agree with that. Well,
Shit.
Yeah, I'm going to
Oh,
agree.
what'd you
And the
do?
Wild Turkey's
Oh, I got the
available.
headphones.
I have no
All the
headphones.
time.
Martell just kicked over our,
So you can't hear us, huh?
okay, now we're back.
So I'm gonna agree. The Wild Turkey is always available. So I think just that's going to give it just a leg up for me. And I thought that was actually very smooth, balanced.
Trying to show the bottle.
Yep.
There we go.
And I'd say the Weller's, like you said, the Special Reserve, surprisingly, it's growing on me more and more every time I drink it. And then the Antique, the funny thing is I think flavor-wise, in a vacuum, Antique 101 or 107 is my favorite. But price-wise, like you said, it's kind of priced itself out of the rating for me. So I would say that's just a touch below the other two.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
And
as well.
and if any of the Bourbon Hunters fans come over and listen to Buckhorn podcast, we always take into consideration, like our favorites off the charts. 2 of them are Two Bitch, which is out of Nevada,
Right.
and Virgil Kane out of the Carolinas. 2 of the top, like of this show, if you're going to rate above a 4, you've got to be at least on par with those 4 to 5. You've got, and the only one and we haven't reviewed it yet. We should, is Jefferson's Ocean, but I had Voyage 3, so I had one of the like early on voyages.
One of the better ones, yeah.
Yeah, it was
I've had
so
Voyage
good.
16.
Yeah,
and it was.
and Martelle and that's a big a fan, so I haven't had one of the later voyages, and I've heard the similar things about it. But yeah, so we take when we rate on our show, we take into account the pricing and the availability because our listeners, if I'm going to recommend something and say it's 4-star, I don't want them to spend a year looking for it or have to travel out of state to get it. So the Virgil Kane and the Two Bitch, we do tell them these are 4, 4.5, 5, whatever. But you cannot find them here. If you go to Vegas, get it. If you go to the Carolinas on vacation, get it. But everything else, pretty much has been a price and availability thing because I'm pretty blue collar. I'm looking for the best bang for my buck.
Quit
That's
buying
where-
corn whiskey.
that corn whiskey won't be bought again. If you guys listen to Buckhorn podcast episodes, you'll know what we're talking about. The quarantine routine. It was rough. That's one of the first ones where I actually poured some down the drain at the end and didn't feel bad at all. But bang for the buck, like I said, the Weller's, the Wild Turkey, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for ones that I can say, I'm okay with this at this price point. So that's where we come from. So the price and availability always takes a toll on our rating.
So
Where some people just rate off taste, which is fine. But if something, if you guys say hunt it, or we say 5-star, but somebody can never find it for 7 or 8 years, it's kind of a bummer. It's kind of a letdown at that point because then you've built up this, for me.
Yeah. And that's kind of our rating system is if we say hunt, we say we know it's not readily available, but we think it's worth trying to find.
Yeah.
Trying to find,
So that's
right.
Not very many things have gotten that for us. Blanton's I know you guys aren't super high on Blanton's, but that's been our, I think, one hunt so far that we've.
The more that my Blanton stays open, the more I'm.
He has a store pick Blanton. If you listen to that,
I have a store pick, but then I have the first Blantons I've ever had. The more that it's been open, the more that it's like it smacks you in the face with vanilla. It's pretty.
I think that's
unique.
probably why I like it, even though I like all the chocolate ice creams.
I wouldn't say we're not.
We're not
against Blanton's.
It's the price and availability.
It's the price and availability
that
turns me off to it.
Right.
So I've got 3 bottles sitting downstairs right now, and one of them being a Halloween dated. Like it is literally
Weird
a
flex,
1031. Yeah.
Real quick, guys, for Bourbon Hunter listeners, where do you find the Buckhorn podcast? What do you guys Instagram, Facebook. Where do you find you guys?
You can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Google, Tweetstagram.
We're also available on Podbean, where you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play. If you just Google Buckhorn Podcast, it'll come up. I mean, we've been out there long enough that it'll come up. What about you guys? Where are you guys available at?
I think pretty much same thing on all the listening platforms on the podcasts. I know some people have had some trouble finding us here and there, but we're definitely on Spotify. We're on Google. We're on Podbean. We're on
Don't look
iTunes.
at me like I know.
Yeah, I'm looking at you because when I look at you, it reminds me that
You're
know
on
nothing.
all of that, and Tyler's on 3 episodes now.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Instagram, we're the Bourbon Hunters. On Facebook, we have a page. It's not as big. I don't put as much time into Facebook as I do Instagram, but
Connect
we
your
are,
Instagram to your Facebook.
The Bourbon Hunters. Yeah, I have, and I always post to both, but we just don't have as many followers. I haven't pushed it as much. So, but thanks everyone for your time today. I appreciate you guys listening in, and
Thank you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
thanks
for having
Buckhorn
us.
for coming on. I totally appreciate you guys being here. We need to do this more often. This is awesome.
Yeah, the next time we do this, I will show up physically to your location and bring you some Virgil Cane.
Oh God, I love it.
Let's go. What are we doing next week?
I don't know.
We're going to get arrested trying to get
Sunday
up
not
to
working.
Next Sunday's Easter, I think, actually. So we'd have to do probably the week after.
I mean, what are you going to do for Easter? You're quarantined.
I'm going to
We'll
Miami.
make
You
a
can't go to your family. No, you can't go to your
I'm going.
families. Let's go.
Yeah.
I've been
podcast instead.
I've been in touch with my in-laws anyway.
You've been touching your in-laws.
Yeah.
I mean,
Diddle, diddle,
we
diddle,
are
diddle,
south
diddle.
of I-70, so hey.
That's fair. That's fair. Anything's game.
That's right.
All right, guys. Well, hey, thanks for joining in, and Buckhorn Podcast. Thanks for Randy and Brandon coming on and gracing us with your presence.
All right. We'll see
You're
you guys.
welcome.
Thanks.
See you guys.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
guys.
Peace.
All right. Peace up.
See ya.
Peace up.
I don't know. Fucking peace out. Pinkies up. It was like
I say peace. You say pinkies up. Amateur hour.
pinkies up, bitches.
There we go.
All right.
Oh, did you stop already?
God damn it.
We never stop until it's done. All right,
Oh,
see you,
shit.
man. Go
All
paint
right.
your trim, you
Go
liar.
paint your trim. See you guys.
See ya.
Taste.
I am all about fitness.
We can tell.
I can't even fit in this chair.
That's good.